Hello, 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 and welcome to another live stream. And yeah, today we're gonna sit down again and animate a little bit on our animation with this friendly wizard kitty that we started a while ago. Let's just go ahead and play it and see where we were. We already did a bunch of relatively fluent animation for the cat itself, summoning a little bit of milk to lick up. And yeah, I think today we're gonna go a little bit crazy with the special effects and see what we can do there. It has been a while since I did the scribbles for the special effects, so they are always very straight ahead heavy, so we probably have to start over again to get back into the mindset of how it was back then. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to this. Let's see who's in the chat. We have It's Mavie. Hello, welcome. USD Math. Nice to see you here. How are you all doing today? Yeah, so let's see what we can jump into here. We already did this first little special effect here, this lightning. Which I'm quite happy with. I do like how it sparks out again. I think, yeah, that's kind of like the style we also want to keep for the other special effects. I want this wizard kitty to have some magic that like really lashes out, that, you know, it's a cute kitten, but the magic here is real and ancient and strong. So we have a little bit of a juxtaposition. I think that would be pretty cool. Hey, Space Girl. Nice to see you. So yeah, we will try to keep that style, especially like here. You know, it's super violent, super strong. What we're gonna do there, and yeah. Let's see what I did back here. So we have these lightning arms lashing out, and then it kind of supposed to form just a ball, and then it has this more soft, more organic, more smooth kind of shaped when it actually reveals the milk carton. And yeah, I think like from the basic ideas here, I really want to continue that. New YouTube subscriber, thank you, David, for subscribing. So yeah, we're gonna continue that, and yeah. Hello, Arthritic One. I just started. I'm just getting started here. You didn't miss anything. Yeah, it's great. It's maybe that you made it to a stream. Hello, R England. Nice to see you. So we already have a special effect layer here. I wonder if we're gonna need a couple layers, because sometimes, especially when we do lightning, it might be cool to animate things separately, and we probably also want a scribble layer. Let's make a new scribble layer to make a finer animation. So let's do that. This layer here. Oh, you can't see the layers here. I just make one under the special effects that might help us to plan the special effects a little more. So, okay. Panda, maybe. Okay, I see. You guys are changing the usernames and everything. That's very confusing. Okay, so the moment he opens the fingers, I kind of want to have like a little glimpse of magic coming out there. I think that would be really nice. So that is here. We want to have like a little ball of magic that is already in his hand here. And yeah, we're going straight ahead here, so I kind of need to, you know, keep all the things about like easing and stuff in mind. So let's keep it organic for now before we lash out into these lightning shapes that we're gonna have later. But I still want to do an ease. So we came from here, and then we're easing into like a glob until it cuts. And maybe we already have the first arm of it lashing out, coming out here. This is where we're gonna have the cut. So let's have it spark out big. Maybe we can already start that here. Maybe we can already have like, you know, like a zigzag shape, like, oh, things are turning into like a violent special effect. I think that could be kind of fun. Hello, Hilly. Nice to see you. And otherwise we still have this shape. Yeah, I think now this cut makes more sense. We could even go really big into this first arm of the lightning. And the other ones are coming out just now. The little wizard is messing with some powerful stuff here. Okay. I think this is already something worth watching. Hey, Ice Cream Hero! Nice to see you again. To see how that lashes out and jumps out. Yeah, okay. So during the cut, a lot of the craziness is happening, but this is exactly like that. You just get the glimpse of the spike forms. That is exactly how I want it to feel, and that it kind of feels soft in the beginning, like you have this egg opening up. I think we are like right on the border of this being too fast, and we have to catch it here by you know, easing this a little bit. And I heard a really cool thing about how to animate lightning effects that I really want to try here. We're gonna do that in a second. So first of all, we have the lashing out fully. I said I wanted this to be a scribble layer, right? But I'm already doing I'm already being pretty clean here. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe, you know, to plan things better, we should really be a little bit more dirty about it. So let's have like this globe coming out of it. R. England asked, will this eventually be colored? Special effects for lighting and magic. Yeah, that's the plan. I wanna color it. I wanna have it fully colored, and if we can have some nice glow effects and stuff on this, on the lightning and the special effects, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely love to explore that. Okay, so let's go back to our original scribble layer. Okay, we have this large bulb that we want to eventually end up in. So let's plan how this comes to be, shall we? Okay, so maybe it comes, you know, as a just restless glob shape. And because we have all these crazy patterns going on, I think this could just, you know, be a little floaty, be a little slow, and hovery before it turns how we want it to be. And just have peaks and valleys of different spots, so it feels like it's wandering around. You know what? That's a bit too fast. Let's really ease into it. Hello, Ground Lord. Hello, Alex. Nice to see you all. Okay, so to plan this right and to have it feel kind of slow, we're gonna look at one peak at a time. We're gonna go in here and have one of these bulbous things, one of these valleys, travel clockwise at a time. Okay, so this one's going there. This one is going here. This one is going here. Let's try a different technique. Let's try, we mark the peaks. We mark the peaks, and then we have the peaks travel. So in the next one, they're here. Alright. And this way we can also, you know, like one could be going a little bit slower, one of them could start to dip down. We can have a little, we can put a little irregularities in here. You know, this one goes a little bit faster. This one almost doesn't move at all. And by doing that, we can plan out where the peaks are supposed to be, and then we're gonna end up in the circle shape eventually. Maybe doesn't really know what to say. Well, have you guys watched any cool animation lately? Is there projects that you're working on? Or, you know, computer games with good animation. You know, everybody is raving about this this game where you play as a cat, and it has some really cool animation in it, some really cool stuff there. I think eventually on this channel we also have to explore game animation a little bit more. Okay, so here it turns into the circle. So you know, let's maybe set that at as our goal to really have a round circle here. Okay. Not the roundest of all circles, but you know, it's charming. This is very intentionally a charming circle. And we can have these already go a little bit further. The Ghost and Molly McGee. Ice Cream Hero is talking about a new show. That sounds interesting. I feel like I've heard about it. I've heard something with that memorable name. We need to do another, like, I really love analyzing animation with you guys. We really need to do that. I really had a lot of fun when we were doing Kid Cosmic. That was really cool, really awesome animation style. Let's see, Ghost and Molly McGee. How does that look? Oh, with Ashley Birch. Ashley Birch is voicing Molly McGee. Really cool. I like her. Oh yeah, it looks like a nice style. Okay. Our England says, working on my own cat project at the same time, but it's not as cute as yours. Yeah, I mean, I'm aiming for extra cuteness. Cats don't have to be cute either. Yeah, Stray. That's the name of the game. Okay, how do we eventually end up here? You know what? Let's continue our slight rotation for the peaks. Slight rotation for the peaks. Let's switch off that scribble layer. There's already too much going on. And maybe this is slowing down here. This is also slowing down. And you know, they kind of by now they have to morph into the circle shape. So I don't think this is so relevant anymore after this point. Just make some space here. How do you add a new empty drawing? Is it Alt D? Yeah, it's Alt D. Alt D. I make you guys switch it so that you can see the timeline, because I'm working on these layers here. Alrighty. Okay. So we have this circle of globs. Let's play it to see. Yeah, no, I think this is good. It is kind of fast, but that's fine with me. Because, you know, we have that big magic lashing out thing here happening. I think it is going to be seen as relatively slow, I think. So we want to reach that height. Let's mark that with onion skin. Let's mark that with, and drag everything slowly over. Okay, and then we have a couple of frames to actually travel up that distance. And yeah. Alrighty. Now that we have the peaks planned here, we can go on and fill in the rest of the shape. So we have that peak, we have that one. And you can see that it's really good that we planned out these peaks, because you would almost not be able to tell. Okay, this was a really long one. It needs to stay like this. Like, it would be very difficult to eyeball. To eyeball this. Without having the helper lines. Okay. Oh no, it's maybe... They say I hate it when the app or software crashes while I'm animating. Yeah, that's the worst. It's a curse, and you really, like, you know, for OpenToonz, for example, I have this autosave on, but I'm always kind of like annoyed when it autosaves. But, you know, when it happens that it crashes, you're really happy that you have the autosave. It's a curse. I was very happy the other day when I realized I was doing a project in Moho. Really complicated rig. Did like a huge thing with like the body, did like some big changes. And then, what am I doing here? And then, yeah, it crashed. And I knew from previous crashes that Moho didn't used to be able to recover my projects. And I was already like, oh my god, I have to do the last, like, hour or so over again. I was really not looking forward to it. But fortunately, since the last updates, autosave is working for me in Moho again. That was a really pleasant surprise. But yeah, it really sucks if it actually leads to data loss. Not fun. I actually started catching up with the, like, last season of Rick and Morty that is on Netflix. I really clocked out with Rick and Morty, the latest season that is on Netflix. I don't know, there was something about the stories getting more and more absurd that wasn't really doing it for me anymore. Like, you know, the constant twist on top of a twist on top of a twist somehow got really boring for me in Rick and Morty. And I needed some distance. But, you know, now I have enjoyed the insanity again. Oh, almost 2 a.m. Was doing a night shift here. Yeah, class in the morning. Better go to bed then. Sleep well. Hello, T-Rex 3D. Yeah, there's the autosave. Alright, and we have that ball rotating and expanding. I'm not sure if the rotation was the right call with the... I think it's not completely the effect that I wanted, but since we're gonna put a whole lot of crazy lightning on top of it, I think we can leave it like that. Don't need to put more work into this. Okay, so let's think about the lightning. We already kind of put a lot of lightning here for the big arm here. We're gonna have that shape. These shapes kind of travel with it. We kind of need to continue those, like the big sweep here. And maybe the big one there. Let's reduce onion skin a little bit so we can focus on. And let's try something here. Let's make 2 frames that are kind of similar. And then maybe go crazy and do something different. I feel like the brain is still gonna see them as related, those lightning shapes. And I guess they should show outward. Yeah, but I think that's really good, those two familiar 2 frames to hold them a little bit, that anchors the view a little bit. And you know, then we can do a mix. Like we can keep the shape up there, but introduce like a new spike here. And maybe nudge those closer together. Although that fits, those shapes fit pretty well there. Okay, so let's continue the big one here. Just going up. Maybe we can do something with this one, reduce this one a little bit. And let's see how they work together. Oh, that's nice. I like it when they introduce like the extra spikes, when like one more is coming in. That's a really nice effect. And I think I really do like the effect on the right one, on the right arm, when it goes from this triangle spike to just going straight again. Like, that's really nice. I think I definitely want to strengthen that. Maybe we just have one arm going out like this. And since we know that is working, all of a sudden putting like a straight line into it, let's try that again here. And you know what, let's reverse this one. Have him pop up. And then I think after this craziness, we kind of need to have one that is just continuing. Yeah, it definitely has a nice mix of like soft and electric zigzag patterns. And now those should also reduce again, right? What did I have in the original one? Yeah, they kind of sparkling inward at this point. So yeah, that is exactly what we're doing. Maybe this one is lashing out in the other direction. And then we have the perfect circle at the end of the lightning. Yeah. I think this is coming together pretty nice. What a little bit of planning can get you. And yeah. I think this is ready for drawing our actual lightning shapes over it. So, you know, the zigzag shapes that I drew are only supposed to be the scribble. I think we need to correct the eyes of the cat a little bit to I think right from the beginning he can look up a little more. Oh, and maybe even like a little bit in front of him, like, you know, like it's really happening in front of him here. Hey JVA. Hi Vias. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm having a lot of fun streaming with you guys here. Hello, Slay Troll. Maybe let's come back to these eyes later, but for now I think this works. Okay. All right, so that I don't have to redraw everything, I'm gonna draw the lightning over it, on top of it, the lines that I want to have, and oh, I didn't realize I was drawing. I was having little guide layers here. We should get rid of those. I don't want them. Hello, Vinicius. Nice to see you again. Okay, so I need to switch these rulers off. Ruler off. There we go. So I can go really up here all the way to the end of the screen. Okay. And yeah, the one thing that I want to try here, I actually saw that in a TikTok video, which I thought was a really good tip if you're animating lightning, to vary the thickness of the lightning arms to really show like the energy pulsing through. So I want to try that. I'm not sure which pattern we're gonna go for that. Maybe we want to I don't know, maybe we want to have areas that are still thick or even getting thicker, you know, as if, let's say this is getting very thin right here. We draw very close to our line, and then we have like this huge area at the top where the energy is maybe like flowing into. I have no idea if this is going to work. But we could try it. We can try it. And I think it makes a lot of sense that he's a little bit scared of it when they are pumping into it, into the air that strongly. Okay. I'm not sure we can already see the effect. Maybe we need one frame where they are thicker in the center, and then we have like a little bit of the illusion that they're traveling outward. Let's try that. Let's get rid of this and reverse it, saying that we have the beginning being super thick, and then we reduce the size towards the end here. Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense, and maybe they can even overlap now. Like, you know, that area down here is just gonna be white. And here it's gonna be relatively thin. And it's like really pumping energy into the lightning arms. Yeah, and I think this really works for why this arm would all of a sudden lose so much thickness, because the lightning power has moved up. That might be exactly the effect that we're looking for. We'll see. Hi, Yeppers Doodles. Okay, so super thin here, super thick at the end. Alright. Probably too quick to see anything, but let's play it. Yeah, it's too quick to see anything. And then maybe have one thin one. Vinicius is asking, do you think 2D VFX animation is a good career choice? Well, 2D animation in general is a bit tricky, but there are still good positions for 2D effects animators specifically. Like I hear in games, there sometimes is a really huge demand for somebody who's really good at it. And it happens that they're looking for people and they're not finding anyone. There is, I forgot this name. There's this French animator who was hired specifically by Pixar for Ratatouille to do like the visualization of the food. So, that's also a case where they were looking specifically for a 2D effects animator and they wanted to find someone who's really good at it. So occasionally the demand does arise. I've also heard that a couple of films, they're doing the like blood splatters and stuff like that in a super realistic blockbuster Hollywood film. They wouldn't do simulated 3D blood because it's really difficult to get the simulation just right. So they actually ended up, even in big Hollywood blockbuster productions, sometimes doing like blood splatters and dust clouds, doing them with 2D animation, which sounds insane to me because it's incredibly difficult to make 2D animation that would live in live action without looking like 2D animation. Like, that's crazy to me. But yeah, I've heard and seen a couple of like VFX animation tests for like big blockbuster movie where it's like, that is 2D animation? Why would they do 2D animation? So the way I see it, if you are good at it, you're always gonna find work and recognition. Like, even if you start putting stuff online and people take notice that you're really good effect animators, and then they might hire you for their projects. It's totally a thing that can happen. I like to make 2D VFX. Should I get deeper on that? I can't do 3D VFX because of my laptop. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, well, first of all, if you're interested in 2D visual effects and you have the time to do it, just do it. Do what you like, do what you wanna be good at, and then look for opportunities to turn this into a career. That is the path to happiness, to do the kind of art that you like. Oh, this is nice. The thicker and thinner really gives it an extra element of chaos. It's getting a bit flickery, but I think it's gonna turn out nice. So, if 2D VFX is interesting to you, just do it. Do exercises, the cool thing about 2D VFX animation is also it can be very meditative, and it can be very, and compared, a good VFX special effect can still take a lot of time, but I feel like you have a result much quicker than, let's say, an acting shot or something like this. So if you're interested in 2D VFX, totally do it. Totally educate yourself about how it is done. Yeah. And oh yeah, the other thing that I wanted to say is some of the principles you will learn, how to direct the attention during a special effect. That's something that you can do very deliberately in 2D animation. In 2D animation, you have a lot of control over how exactly the shape of your lightning is, how exactly a dust cloud forms and stuff like this. Whereas in 3D, you kind of need to fight the simulation. And if you have a good feeling for 2D animation effects, you know what to look for, what to push the simulation to. So starting with 2D VFX can really make going into 3D VFX easier, because you already have to think about, you know, how does fire work, how does dust work, regardless of the technology. All right. Yeah, I think the thicker and thinner effect was really important for this animation and to make this more violent. And I'm really glad for like the couple frames that are similar that we put in there. That gives it this certain kind of rest. Okay, let's make one more really big one, or you know, let's build it up to be a big one. One last really thick one before the lightning draws back. And like have these go in relatively thick. I think that might work okay. Yeah, really nice. Hi, Kevin Richard. We're just enjoying this special effects animation that we're doing here. Okay, so after this we just have the ball here, so let's just copy that and get rid of the spikes. Maybe rotate this a bit so we still have something going on. And Vinicius is suggesting the bit of quicker timing at the end. You mean when they are returning, the lightning sparks are returning into the ball. I'm a bit worried about making it too quick, because I know that, you know, now that we're looking at it repeatedly and getting used to it, it's very difficult to judge the timing with a fresh eye. It could be very, you know, very quickly we could make the wrong decision and accidentally make it too quick where we shouldn't make it so quick. What did you eat? I haven't had dinner yet. But yeah, and for lunch I only had cereal, just something quick with oat milk. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a nice dinner got some potatoes for mashed potatoes. Okay, so let's get rid of the middle lines here, because these were just placeholders. And then we can judge it a little better. Oh, Aaron Blaze is streaming right now. Yeah, Aaron Blaze is awesome too. Yes, George Animation Studios. I do work on freelance projects. I have a big one right now that unfortunately can't work for on stream. Otherwise, I would do that. But the client didn't want that. But yeah, I'm also doing freelancing. Alright. Yeah, I think just deleting these is easier than redrawing everything. Yeah, Alex. Alex suggesting make it feel faster by adding redundant motion, like having the balls swirl as they return to the circle. Yeah, we could add some crazy flavor. We can try. I mean, it's just the last couple frames. And since we have done the motion, like the thicker and thinner lightning bolts already a couple of times, and we haven't played so much with the rotation of them, that might be a welcome additional dimension. Okay, so it would go over the dude, over the kitty. Let's see. Yeah. This is so much nonsense. I love it. I love it. Special effects just go way over the top. Let's add one more. Why not? You know, we could also have like a little... we could add one in between of the ball reacting to it. You know, maybe it's going in here. Have like one last change in the form of the ball. Okay, a couple of things in the chat. Yeah, so first of all, George Animation Studios. Yeah, I'm gonna give you my email just a second. And I will have a look at your email and I will try to get back to you as quickly as possible. I am pretty booked at the moment, so I can't promise anything. You know, unfortunately might not have time to join anything right now for a couple of months. But, you know, it's always good to talk about things. So you can reach me. My email is ferdinand@animatorisland.com. And I do sometimes need some time to get back to people because, you know, there's so much stuff going on in life and everything. But you know, I try to at least read every email, and the best way to contact me is in the live stream when we can have like a direct chat here through the chat. But I'll try to get back to you if you send me an email. There was a question about the music. Yeah, the song that was running there. Yeah, won't I get copyrighted for the music? The music I actually license from filmstro.com. I also do have an affiliate link for it, but I believe it's nowhere to click on. I'm gonna show you real quick. Filmstro.com. It's pretty cool. It's a paid service for music, but the cool thing about Filmstro is you can change their music. Like they have these little sliders here. I think I can show. I think I can show you. Just a second. So you can animate the music in real time. Yeah, so that is Filmstro. Filmstro.com is a service where you can get music copyright free. You can play it on YouTube live streams, for example. What I'm doing right now, all my music is from Filmstro right now. And yeah, the really cool thing is the animation tools that you can animate the music depending on these parameters, which is pretty cool. So that's what I'm using for music on this channel. And there are a couple ones that have lyrics in there and sound like, you know, pop songs, which is pretty cool. And I like to throw them into the mix. Okay, so what do we have here? We kind of want to end this motion here. Showing the animation. Yeah, let me finish that one drawing here. Then I'm gonna show it. Almost there. So close to having that special effect done. Okay. All right. So let's play it from the beginning. That rotation was a great tip. I'm so happy that we did that. Thank you, Alex. That was a really cool idea. Ah, this is so nice. Thank you, Artyom. They say it looks amazing. I'm actually, I'm pretty happy with it too. We need some sound effects too. Okay, Slate Troll asks, what is the best book for learning animation? I mean, you know, the standard book for learning animation is the Animator Survival Kit. Not so much because it has like a full... The Animator Survival Kit is interesting because it kind of has a couple of things in there, like recipes, like the area in the Animator Survival Kit on how to do walk cycles is one of the best. It's amazing, and it gets you thinking in all different kinds of directions. So that is great, like for some really specific things that you want to look up. And the intro is also nice. It's also okay, but you know, it's mostly written for paper animation, and you can use all of it for digital animation. But what I discovered helps students learn better is to really get the physics and the body mechanic thing done, and get it right first. You know, body mechanics like a weight shift, or just making one step forward, or a jump, or if you go back even further, just, you know, which by the way is also in the Animator Survival Kit, how to animate a pendulum and like just objects falling. I mean, the Animator Survival Kit touches on that too, so I guess the Animator Survival Kit is the answer if there's only one book that you might want to get. But I can also really recommend looking for online classes, and those kind of exercises. If you are doing 2D animation, you need to get a real good feeling for spacing first, so you need to do a lot of spacing exercises, like objects falling and bouncing, and we have on this channel, we have this video called Best Animation Exercise for Beginners, where you just animate a ball flying along a path and speeding up and slowing down. So that's a pretty good exercise. And you know, the 51 animation exercises on Animator Island, and then looking for how to do those things in different books and different YouTube videos, that might also be a good approach. You know, because just plainly learning from a book, I feel like is very difficult in animation, because you need to see it move, you need to see, yeah, you need to see some things in action, and that's always very difficult with a book. Kevin Richards, can you change the video quality? I should be streaming at least in 720p. Like that. It should be 720p. It should be kinda okay. In the YouTube player, you can change the quality, and you should be able to set it to 720p. Kevin also finishing all the 51 animation exercises. Yeah, that's great. Vinicius is stressing everything is the bouncing ball. Yes, indeed. Like, even, you know, when your character's dropping the hand, like we have the Wizard Kitty do in our animation, like even that. I really like how this animation turned out. I haven't done special effect animation in a while. It's one of my favorite kind of animation. That rotation in the end, that's the icing on the cake. Really nice. It says there's only 144p? What? No, that shouldn't be like that. Let me check if there's anything that I can do from my end. Can I go into the live control room? Yes, I can. Let's see if I can do anything about the quality. I do have 720p as an option. Yeah, I don't know. On my end, I think on my end everything is working more or less correctly. But you know, streaming is weird, and streaming actually goes through a bunch of different servers. Like, all of you viewers, you're not watching through the same server depending where you are on the world. It's a highly complex thing. So, you know, maybe YouTube has a problem with one of the servers and is only serving 144p. That can happen. But yeah, on my end, for once, everything seems to be running quite okay. Thank you, Srizzy, for checking. I might wanna. I have to try if I can stream in 1080p. I think next week I'm gonna try if we can do full HD. Because I switched the provider through which I'm sending the this. How do you do the zooming thing on the scene? You mean in OpenToons? How do I do the cut? Well, I'm doing these cuts in a way where you should really you should think twice if you want to animate like that, because cutting inside a shot can have all kinds of negative consequences, and you see some of them already. Like, you know, I'm switching the camera view, and I forgot the layer with the football here. It's just popping in later. Like, this is the danger of cutting in a scene, in an animation file. So professionally, you will only animate the camera to actually animate the camera, to have like slow zooms and stuff like that. But you wouldn't use it as a cut. You would put your animation just until the next cut in one file, and then you create a new file where you are zoomed out and you do all your animation then, and then maybe there's another cut where you zoom in again, and that's a third animation file that you're animating in, and then later you export all these scenes and you put them together in a video editing software. That's the correct professional way of doing this. But since I'm doing only this small little project here and I just want to export it really quickly. Oh, you mean for live stream? Yeah, for live stream, I'm using a streaming software called vMix to set up my scenes here. And one thing that I also have is the Windows, like what I also sometimes do is this, which is the Windows tool. I think it's Windows key P to get this magnifying glass. But yeah, the other stuff that I'm doing, like when live streaming, going through the different scenes, that is something that I do in vMix. A free option would be OBS, Open Broadcaster software. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that in OpenToons. I think you actually can. I think you can full screen the viewport. Let's see, view. I mean, I know of animators who do this in Photoshop, like who, you know, they select the brush that they want to use and then they hit a button and they enter Photoshop in like full screen view. I actually know some people who work like that. Let's hit Control F. Let's see what happens. No, FX browser, that is not correct. So maybe it's possible to zoom in on a single window. Oh, we double click. Okay, so that is cool. If you want to get rid of everything else on your scene, you can double click the tab name here, up here. Just double click that, and then OpenToons goes in a full screen view of that particular thing. And if you want to go back, double click again. That's actually, I might use that if I can get myself to remember that. Kevin is leaving us. I'm from Germany. Vinicius is saying, I work going full screen to draw in Krita. Okay, cool. Artyom, do you mean frames per second? I'm liking this animation so much. So yeah, Artyom is asking, what is the highest number of frames I used in animation? Well, it depends, you know. I did a lot of game animation where technically the frame rate was managed by the computer, and we kind of animated in, I think, 60 frames per second. But you know, that would be interpolated. If people would have a very fast computer, it would play the animation in 120 frames per second. I think that was where we had the cap, like it couldn't go higher than 120 frames per second. You know, without making the animation faster, it would just put more frames between to get like a smooth kind of interpolation. But you know, that was keyframed animation. That was done with rigs. That was like 3D animation. The computer was doing all that work. Usually I animate in 24 frames per second, and usually on twos, showing every drawing two times, which makes it 12 frames per second, mostly, unless you have something like running, then I do switch to 24 frames per second. But I haven't done like frame by frame 60 frames per second or something like that. I've never attempted that. And I think I never will, because that's a lot of work. Ice Cream Hero is talking about the saving cuts as separate files sound much more organized. I should do that next time. Yeah, I mean, I think this technique of saving shots in different files only makes sense when you have a really good animatic. When you had done a storyboard and then you put the storyboard drawings in a video editing software to time them, to get a rough feeling of how long actions are, and then you use that to determine what your shots are. In the animatic, you say like, okay, I'm doing this in a wide angle, in a wide shot, I'm doing this in a close-up, and you already have the length because you felt it out in the animatic, and you maybe put already the dialogue in, put some sound effects in, some music to really bring your animatic to life and to make some decisions about how long the shots are. And if you've done that work before, then this technique is fantastic, because then you can go in the video editing software and be like, okay, my shot is going from here to here. This is before I cut. And you know how long your animation file has to be. And you can export just that portion from your video editing software, the music and the dialogue. Maybe even, you know, the animatic images and stuff, put that into OpenTunes and animate on top of it. And it's much better for working with other people because you can give separate shots to other people. If a file breaks, you know, that's the other thing. Software can crash, we talked about that earlier, but files can also be corrupt and not open all of a sudden. And if you have your entire 10-minute animation short film in one file, and all of a sudden that file doesn't open anymore, you've lost all your 10 minutes of animation work if you have backed it up, which, you know, people should. Yeah, so working in separate files, that's a huge step up in professionalizing a workflow. Really, I can really recommend that. Does animating on such high frame rates make the motion blur more complicated to get right? Well, in 2D animation, if you don't put in motion blur, it's not going to have motion blur. So you kind of have the problem that you also have in games, that you need to put some kind of motion blur artificially into that. I mean, I guess if you don't put any motion blur in, if you don't put any blurred frames in, if you don't elongate shapes when they are in a quick motion, it will look really, really sharp. It will look unnaturally sharp at such high frame rate. But you can already observe that with right here on YouTube. There are streamers and channels who put videos in 120p on their channel, and because it's a camera, it will have some amount of motion blur. But you will already notice that motions feel really artificially smooth and unnaturally sharp. That's because of that effect. And depending on what setting you have the camera, they might not have motion blur in it. But that's really cool. Like look for streamers who stream in 60 FPS or 120 FPS. I think 60 FPS is like the norm that a lot of Twitch streamers are doing nowadays. I'm almost choking on my water here. But I do need some water. Ice Cream Hero, still about the shot thing. I was taught to divide them in scenes when I was younger. I took animation class again when I was older, and I forgot you were supposed to do that. Yeah. I mean, scenes is already, like, and it always depends on what you do. Like, you know, the cat animation that we're doing here is like a quick, like a TikTok project, and I don't know, we don't have an animatic for it, so it kind of, I don't want to recommend this to anyone, but, you know, in this case, I put it all in one scene. And maybe there are sometimes cases where it makes sense to really feel out where the cut has to go. Like, I could imagine in some fighting choreography, maybe you want to have all of that in the same scene. Because, you know, shifting something just 2 frames in a fight choreography could change the feeling of it. So I could imagine that in a fight choreography you might have it all in one timeline and switch where you cut. But, you know, it also the danger with cutting in your animation project is that you don't change the angle, that you do stuff like, technically what we're doing right here, we're only like only zooming out, where actually whenever possible you should also change the angle of the camera. Just zooming in, that's not the best of cuts. Yeah, and putting stuff on different layers. Yeah, that can solve to keep that organized. And funny enough, I can tell when a lot of 3D animators are doing that, when they put their entire animation in the same scene, because when you render your shot with motion blur in 3D, and you do this like 1 frame cut, where you set a keyframe for the camera, and then you set another keyframe with the camera zoomed in or zoomed out or whatever you're doing, the motion blur will still work. It will come up with like an extremely distorted frame for like 1 frame to have that motion blur in there. So 3D animators especially should be careful with that because you don't want to see that. All right. I am realizing, you guys, that I'm getting extremely tired today. I don't know why I'm so tired. It wasn't that hard of a day. So yeah, I might not make it much longer. If there are any more questions, please let me know. Let's have a look at our animation one more time here. Yeah, layers is something that I should have put in more of in my scene too. We're also gonna get some trouble with the coloring, because OpenToonz sometimes has a difficulty closing certain shapes. Yeah, it's probably the weak stress taking its toll. That might be it, you know. That's, you know, because even though today wasn't particularly difficult, it's still the week. Definitely looking forward to the weekend. Okay, so let's try to add some like maybe we need to do this differently. I think we have to add this in the way of, yeah, like that, on top of previous exposed areas. Let's see how that's gonna be. I think that could be quite fun with these trailing shapes. Let's see how that looks. Vinicius asks, will you color this animation? Yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Yes, I would like to do that at some point. You know, let's see how far we actually get with this. But yeah, my goal is to take this all the way to done. Let's take out the we still have some helper lines here, these. Let's take those out. There we go. And while I'm doing this, let me tell you about something. Namely, if you are enjoying the kind of content that I'm doing, the tutorials, you might want to consider to support us on patreon.com/animatorisland. Yeah, with your money, I can keep doing live streams and tutorials, and it's greatly appreciated because I'm nowhere close to done with the tutorials that I want to do. I have so much more content planned for the 2D animation class. I want to get into 3D animation classes for Blender, and I want to do lots more live streams and work on some cool projects with you. You know, maybe some actual short films soon. So if you want to support that, please head on over to patreon.com/animatorisland. We also have a special tier over there, which is called the group mentoring tier. In the group mentoring tier, you can join a secret group mentoring call where you can show whatever you're currently working on. It can be an animation, it can be a drawing, it can just be an idea for a short film, and I will give you tips and tricks on how to make it better. I will draw over your animations and drawings and help to flesh them out, and give you tips and tricks on how to improve your skills. Not only that specific project, but your general animation skills. That's a monthly thing. It's also a live stream that you can join, even with webcam and a mic. You can talk to me live there. Yeah, we have a bunch of fun over there. There are some other really nice mentoring students there, and we're working on cool projects there. And if you want to work with me on your project, then that's a great way to do this. That's animatorisland.com/group mentoring. Let's see if I can pull up the banner one more time. Yeah, there it is. There you can find out all about it. And yeah, so let's jump back into the animation. We're kind of like, there was a moment where they all disappear, and I think that's a bit too harsh. Let's just copy that frame. Copy that frame here, and make sure that we have some time for these to trail behind. Maybe that's already maybe one more time. Have these really disappear in the distance. And I think that could be a quite nice little subtle effect of them disappearing. Yeah, that's nice. That is that. I think that is what it was missing, to have like a little bit of subtlety at the very end. I love it. I'm very happy with this. Like, you know, I haven't done at least in 6 months, I haven't done any VFX animation. And I'm so happy to have done this. Yeah, I think we can be pretty happy with that. Yeah, money is short. That's I know the struggle. So yeah, I mean, depending on where you live, if you want, you can also send me an email, and we might be able to work something out. Like if you wanna, like, you know, if you live in a country where like the rate to US dollar and euro and stuff isn't so great, feel free to write me an email, and maybe we can work something out. Because, you know, I do realize that depending on which country people live, the $19, €19 for the mentoring is quite pricey. And I wouldn't want you to spend half of your income or whatever, you know, a good chunk of your income just on mentoring. So, you know, if that is the case, please just send an email to me, Ferdinand@animatorisland.com, and we might be able to work something out that could work for you. You know, and that offer I extend to anyone who has struggles in their country financially and stuff like this. You know. All right. So, I think that's it for today. I don't think I can get any more out of my heart for today, but let's have a look at it one more time. I'm so glad that we have this FX layer now. And I can't wait to do the other half of the VFX later. Now I'm really hyped. I'm really loving it. Really want to do more FX animation. But yeah, it would be really nice to have this all colored and all done. So yeah, we're gonna keep going at it in these live streams. And yeah, are there any more questions in the chat? Anything that you might want me to answer before I go? Ah, alright. Our England was working alongside. That's really awesome. Yeah, we should do it again next week. Honestly, I did this a couple times with a couple colleagues that we would jump on a call, like on Zoom or Skype, and just work next to each other. Sometimes not even talking, but you know, if you want to reach out to another human being, you have the option. And I think that makes working at home, you know, or just working on a computer the whole day a lot more pleasant if there's some kind of human interaction. I'm glad that worked out for you to work with me on your project. That's amazing. Yeah, like a virtual coworker. Yes, as if you're sitting together in an office. I did that a couple times with people when I was working on a freelance project. And in the evening, we would play a round of Minecraft. You know, that would be the after work beer, so to speak. That was quite fun. So yeah, speaking of quite fun, I really enjoyed this live stream once again with all of you in the chat. I had a great time chatting with you, working on this animation. And yeah, it's always a pleasure. I'm really looking forward to the next live stream where we're probably going to continue this animation. I don't know, maybe we're going to do some character design again. We'll see, at least in the beginning, to do something different. But we also want to get this animation done, right? So, yeah. What is the sound of my voice? What do you mean? Alright. So... a poetic question. Well, I mean... you have to listen to my voice the whole time, you tell me. Oh yeah, the pirate car. We need to go back to the pirate car. That's oh, you're reminding me of something. I still wanted to post it to Instagram. The pirate car we did in one of the live streams. That was that was quite fun. Oh, you mean on the what is the sound of your voice when you with your virtual coworker to hear a hint of human interaction. All right, I had a lot of fun. Thank you all so very much, and yeah, keep on working on your own projects, follow your dreams, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in a live stream. Bye bye.